Okay, let's talk about something that happens to literally everyone. We're going to peel back the skin on why our fresh food seems to be in a constant, and I mean constant, race against time.
You know the feeling, right? You buy this gorgeous, perfect-looking produce, and it feels like the second you get it home, a secret countdown clock starts ticking. Before you know it, it's not so gorgeous anymore. So why does this happen? It all comes down to the fact that not all crops are created equal.
So, on one side of the ring, you've got what scientists call durable crops. Think about things like grains, seeds, nuts, stuff you can keep in your pantry for months, even years. And on the other side, you've got our perishable friends, all those amazing fruits and vegetables, and they are in a high-speed, non-stop sprint against decay. And if you want to know the why, this table spells it out beautifully. Perishables have a ton of moisture. We're talking up to 90% water, and their respiratory activity is way, way higher. What does that mean? Well, they're basically living faster and burning through their energy reserves like crazy, which is why their storage life is just a few days or weeks compared to years for those durable crops.
And here's the absolute mind-blowing part. When you pick a fruit or a vegetable, it doesn't just die. No way. It's still a living, breathing thing. It's just been cut off from its life support, the parent plant. So that countdown clock, it really does start the second it's harvested.
After that moment, every piece of produce goes on this one-way journey. It's got three main stages. First up is maturation. That's when it's all grown up. Then comes the best part for us, ripening, when it gets all delicious. And the final stage? Senescence, which is really just a fancy science word for getting old and, naturally breaking down. This apple's journey here is the perfect example. See how it starts small and, let's be honest, probably not very tasty? It grows and hits what's called physiological maturity. It's a full-grown apple, but maybe it's still a bit sour. But then you hit the sweet spot, commercial maturity. That's when the quality is absolutely perfect for us to eat. Wait too long, though, and it tips over to being over-mature. It's all downhill from there. So this difference is absolutely key. Physiological maturity, that's when the plant has just finished its development cycle. But commercial maturity, that's the one we're all waiting for. It's that perfect, delicate window when the flavor, the texture, everything is just right for us to buy and eat. And hitting that window, that's the whole game. So what's actually fueling this race to the finish line? Well, let's meet our first invisible villain, respiration. You see, just like you and me, that harvested apple or lettuce needs to breathe to stay alive. And to do that, it starts breaking down its own stored-up sugars for energy. It is literally eating itself from the inside out to survive. And this whole thing just snowballs. The faster it breathes, the faster it burns through its food reserves. That process creates heat, which, guess what, makes it breathe even faster. As this flow shows, the whole internal structure gets messy, cells collapse, and boom, you get a much, much shorter storage life. I mean, this graph just makes it crystal clear. Take a look at the pear. Its respiration rate is through the roof, and its storage life, a couple of weeks, maybe. Now, look over at the apple. Its breathing rate is way lower, and it can last for over 30 weeks. It's pretty simple, really. A slower breath means a longer life.
But wait. Respiration isn't working alone. Oh no. Let's meet our second culprit, a tiny but incredibly powerful gas called ethylene. You can think of it as the official ripening hormone. It's the trigger.
This simple little molecule right here has a huge, huge impact. The crazy thing is, the fruits and veggies produce it themselves. And when they do, it sends out a signal to all the other produce nearby, basically shouting, hey, it's time to ripen. Let's get this aging process started.
Now, ethylene can be both a hero and a villain. On the good side, we actually use it to get our bananas and avocados perfectly ripe for the store. But it's got a dark side, a really dark side. It's the reason carrots can get bitter, why your leafy greens turn yellow, and it just hits the fast-forward button on spoilage for a lot of things.
And here you can see that dark side in action. On the left, a perfectly healthy cabbage. On the right, one that's been exposed to some ethylene. Just look at that accelerated aging, the yellowing, the breakdown. This is exactly why you've probably heard you should keep your apples, which produce a lot of ethylene, away from sensitive stuff like this cabbage.
Okay, so it might sound like a losing battle, right? But it's not. For decades, scientists and farmers have figured out some amazing ways to pump the brakes on this whole process. So the big question is, how do we fight back?
The single biggest, most powerful weapon we have in this fight? It's temperature. That's it. Dropping the temperature is like hitting the pause button on all those biological processes. It slows down respiration, it reduces how much ethylene gets produced, and it stops water loss.
Cold is our best friend here, plain and simple.
And managing temperature is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. There's this whole system called post-harvest handling. It's a chain of events that starts the moment of harvest and covers everything: sorting, grading, transportation, storage, all the way to your grocery store.
It all kicks off right here. The second the produce is picked, it gets carefully sorted and graded. And this isn't just about making it look pretty. Remember how a bruised or damaged fruit produces way more of that ripening gas, ethylene? Well, one bad apple can literally start a chain reaction. So being gentle is absolutely crucial.
And then you see this technology every time you go shopping. These refrigerated displays, they're not just there to feel nice. They're the final link in what's called the cold chain, keeping that temperature low to slow down all that breathing and give you the freshest food possible.
And beyond that, some of the tech is straight out of science fiction. We have these massive, controlled atmosphere storage rooms that actually change the air, lowering the oxygen and upping the CO2 to basically put produce into a state of suspended animation. We use special packaging and even have ethylene scrubbers that literally pull the ripening gas right out of the air.
So you might be thinking, this is all pretty cool, but why does it matter so much? Well, this race against time isn't just about preventing a few bruised apples, it's about feeding the planet.
When it comes right down to it, understanding this secret life of our groceries is how we tackle one of the biggest problems we have: food waste. By mastering this science, we can make sure more of the food we grow actually makes it onto our tables. That means better quality, safer food, and less waste for everyone.
So yeah, it's this complex, invisible battle that's being fought with science every single day, from a farm field halfway around the world all the way to your kitchen fridge. The next time you put your groceries away, just think about that race against time you're helping to win. So, knowing all this, what are you going to save from spoiling first? Thanks so much for joining me.